Drum for the Song podcast.
The question, how is Sonor often so pricey, is, of course, we're getting asked that a lot. It's a simple answer. It's made in Germany. Germany is not the most inexpensive place to produce any kind of goods. It's just, with the way our wages work here, like and everything else that's connected to that, it's just impossible to really produce something cheap.
Yeah.
That's not our thing. We don't want to do it, actually. It's not our philosophy. It's something that the company founder never wanted, and I think it's almost a little romantic if you think about it and say, well, yeah, he was right. He was always looking at quality, at how to make things like the best for consumers, for users, for drummers.
Yeah.
But also something else that Sonor stands for Sonor a lot is the fact that Sonor always was very, very innovative. I mean, at the factory, we've got a little museum, and there's still that that super simple first single pedal we built back in 1900. I mean, it looks like, forget about the looks, about the noise it makes when you touch it. But that's kind of like, it's so crazy to see all those things from that time, and then you go a little further, seeing more innovations, more developments. The first three-way strainer that we did back in, I think, 1930. We even had a square bass drum once. I think that was.
I didn't know that.
True. I think that was like 1930s maybe.
Yeah.
I still see the old catalog from back then, in my head, with that square bass drum. It didn't really last. It was, but it's just crazy to think about. There was a guy in the 1930s thinking about, the shape of a drum, how to make it different, sound different. Is it, what kind of benefits does the drummer have using that thing? Even though, back in the 1930s, we're not talking about real, band kind of settings or drummers, but
yeah,
that's just amazing for me to see. And I tell people every time, still, even after 14 years working for the company, every time I go down to production, I always see little things I never saw before, and I experienced some little details, and I was like, oh, that's clever. Yeah, that's how we do it since 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
It's nothing special, but so clever. It's the little details. I think, that kind of makes Sonor so special, I think.
Drum for the Song podcast.